Welcome back to Temporal Directive, the Star Trek fan podcast rewatching the entire franchise in chronological order. I'm Gary.
And I'm Tom.
And this week, we're watching Star Trek Enterprise's Rogue Planet. Star Trek, the ultimate franchise. These are the podcasts of the Wakefield brothers. Their 16-year mission to watch every production, to seek out life lessons and new inspirations, to boldly watch like most fans have watched before. No new Star Trek announcements this week.
So it's a very exciting week.
Very exciting week.
It's fantastic.
Technically, it's only been a few days since we recorded our Lower Decks special, so
That's true.
not much has happened in between, Tom.
No. What were you up to?
Well, apart from work, it hasn't been too exciting. I restarted an old hobby called post-crossing. So I don't know if you remember me doing this or if anyone out there has ever heard of it. But it's basically like a postcard exchange website. So you sign up, you register, and you click the button that says send a postcard, and it gives you a postcard ID and a random address to someone. So like I've had a lot in Germany this week, for example. So you write them a postcard, and you put the ID on it, and they register it when they get it, and then your address goes out to some other random person in the world, and you start getting postcards from all over the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did it years ago, back when I was working in the call center. And we kind of did it as a team, and we had a big world map on the wall, and we'd put the postcards up and link them with string.
Okay, kind of like a little crime scene.
Kind of like a crime scene.
Got little red flags and little red string going from one to the other.
Kind of. But it was fun to see all the different places that people live and different stories. Some people would send recipes. Some people would send like interesting stories.
Yeah, right.
Some people sent little sachets of coffee and like all sorts of different little things.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I think I ended up with about 500 postcards or something out of it last time, and I thought, I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to get little things from around the world, little tidbits from different cultures and stuff.
Well, I can't afford to travel, so
You can these days.
Sending a few postcards and getting some back seems to be the cheap vicarious travel.
Yeah, bring it into the home.
yeah, that's right.
Very nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you remember what the website was called? Or?
It's postcrossing.com.
Oh, nice and easy.
Very easy. So I've sent about 15. I haven't got any back yet. But it's only early days, so we'll see. Hopefully I'll have some good updates.
Cool. And this is where we say something like, we are not sponsored by anybody.
We're not sponsored by anybody, but we're open to it. Post crossing, do you have a sponsor? Do you do sponsorships? We could do a spin-off series about post crossing.
We are open to anything.
Anyway, let's get into this week's episode, shall we?
Alrighty.
So the episode is Rogue Planet, the story by Rick Berman, Brandon Braga, and Chris Black. Teleplay by Chris Black, directed by Alan Craker, and the original air date was March 20th, 2002. The IMDb synopsis reads, while exploring an uncharted planet, Enterprise crew members encounter a group of aliens who are hunting indigenous creatures for recreation.
Didn't we used to do that? Or still
Doesn't
do that?
this...
Don't
well,
we do that?
Yes, indigenous creatures. Yes, that's right. We just hunt.
We hunt.
We hunt deer.
Yeah. There's big, lots of hunting.
Wild boar. Do you know, I found this wild boar salami, which is really delicious.
That's great.
Yeah.
That actually probably would be very delicious.
It is really nice.
Yeah, I might have to try that. You'll have to show me.
Yeah, with a nice bit of brie and sorry. I might have to swing by the deli and get some
Sounds all right.
get some wild boar salami now.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
Unless this episode's going to turn me off. I don't remember this episode.
No.
Does it sound familiar to you?
No, not at all. Like, even a little bit.
It sounds like if the indigenous creatures are sentient, then it could be like Predator or like Herogen. Took me a minute to get there.
Yeah, the Herogen.
So I'm that's the kind of thing I'm kind of expecting, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, I don't remember it. I guess let's go watch it.
All right, sounds good.
And we're back from watching Rogue Planet. What's your first thoughts, Tom?
I usually make a smart ass comment, but it's not even worth that.
Yeah.
It's bad.
This was a bad episode.
It really is. It's just disappointing. Like, we were sort of doing pretty good, actually. I was feeling really good about the series. A couple of good episodes in a row, good acting, good everything about it was been picking up. And then this falls in and you go, what the fuck am I watching?
This was a hot mess of an episode.
It really is.
But it felt like a mix of the Herogen and those eyepieces looked like they were borrowed from the DS9 set.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Not really
it was boring.
It is. It's just crap. It was bad acting, bad everything. Bad acting, bad sets, and like the logic is gone.
The bad sets.
Yeah. It's just fucked. It's just the whole thing.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. I look forward to it. I'm so excited.
We open on the bridge, and Archer is testing out his posture in the chair.
Yeah.
While Trip is trying to take a portrait of him. Archer is acting like a child.
Yeah.
Why can't I just use a photo from the archives?
Yeah.
You're an adult.
Yeah.
Sit in the fucking chair and get your photo taken.
Yeah. It'll take 2
How
seconds.
hard is it?
2 seconds and done. And you're a fucking professional. Like, you know this shit is what it is. It's fucked.
Whiny little bitch. Right. Reed detects a planet with no system. It is a rogue planet. We skip the credits, which, might have actually been the best part of the episode. We're back. We're still on the bridge, and T'Pol says that there's a diverse animal population, but no evidence of humanoid life. Reed detects a ship on the surface.
Detecting humanoid life instantly.
Did they detect humanoid life?
There's a ship with a power...
They detected a ship.
Yes, but that's evidence of some sort of humanoid life on the planet.
Well, I think they meant native. I think that's what T'Pol meant. The planet is unpopulated.
Okay, fair enough.
But
no
they detected the
cities and
ship.
No towns. Gotcha.
Correct.
Fair enough.
No aqueduct.
That's because they didn't have any Womans.
So they couldn't detect any life, but they detected the ship. Trip made some joke about maybe they're on their honeymoon because it was a single ship on a dark planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Hilarious.
We cut to the shuttle pod. Archer, T'Pol, Reed, and Hoshi are heading down. They land thanks to Captain Archer's
Brilliant
shuttle piloting.
Yeah. We even have self-driving cars now. I mean, I'm pretty sure that shuttle, you just hit buttons and it goes, oh, there's the landing spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even in the future, when they get like Riker to do the manual maneuvers to link the ships together and stuff, I'm like, manual maneuvers? Really? Come on.
There was a joystick.
No, that was in one of the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was slightly more impressive, but also made me go, what the fuck are you doing? Are you playing a video game? Like,
well, it made the video game where you use a joystick to pilot the Enterprise much more realistic. So the shuttle lands on the planet. The away team get out. They've got their flashlights going. These funny little night vision eyepieces over one eye, just look green and weird. And they are heading towards the vessel they detected with their phasers out. They approach a fire pit, like a campsite, and decide to split up. And Reed and T'Pol head for the ship,
Now
and Archer and Hoshi stay at the campsite.
Now this is where I was like, what are they? Why are they approaching it with weapons out? Like, they look aggressive. Like, they're stealthily going through the woods on a jungle. Sorry, they're going through the jungle.
Like George.
Yeah, that's where my brain went. I was like, so they're stealthily going through the jungle with their weapons out, and they're looking for other humanoid beings that obviously can pilot a ship and are intelligent enough to do that. So they're going through weapons out, going, hello. No, they're just stealthily going around pointing their weapons at anything they can find. So we're friendly, obviously. Yeah, phases in your face. Great. That's a good start. Fuckers.
It's the American way.
Good point.
So Reed and T'Pol are going through the jungle, and they hear some noises, and then Reed gets tackled by a humanoid in camo. But anyway, let's just shorten this up a little bit. They end up back at the camp. They're all friendly. Hoshi's already deciphered the language, and they can communicate with each other now. They are talking about some random shit, and then they're surprised to hear that the people in camo are hunters.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck? Hunting?
Like, as soon as you see these people, you go, these folks are hunters.
Yeah. Big weapons, camouflage.
Campsites.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
You're eating meat off the plate at this time.
Everything about it screams hunting.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, you're hunters.
Yeah.
Reed makes an observation that the equipment that they have is excessive for hunting some wild pigs. But while they're talking, Reed decides to join the toxic masculinity hunt. I mean, the hunters in there hunting.
It's absolutely what it is.
We cut back to Enterprise. Hoshi and Reed have come up to the ship, Malcolm to get some more supplies. Trip is going to join and come down, and Hoshi's just glad to be back on the ship.
Yeah.
So they're sharing a camp with the aliens.
Hoshi makes a joke there.
Does she?
Yeah, she makes a joke about the what was it, ear boars?
Oh, yeah,
something
the bugs that
bore into your brain and lay their eggs.
Yeah, in your ear or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. And we all went, hilarious. Very, very funny.
So back on their planet, they're all sharing a camp, the aliens and the humans, and they decide to go to bed because Reed's got an early start to go hunting. Archer decides to stay up a bit by the fire.
Now, Reed said he wasn't going to kill anything, right?
Yes.
So Reed was like, can I go hunting, Captain? I promise I won't hurt anything. I won't kill a thing. Why would you go hunting if you're not going to actually go hunting for starters?
He said he wanted to learn how they managed to evade the sensors and stuff.
But you can learn that without going hunting, surely, for starters.
Yes, well, you probably could, but Reed's
a dick.
A manly man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Same thing. And wants to join this toxic masculinity parade.
Okay.
It's a straight parade in the jungle.
If you're in the jungle, don't wear camouflage. Wear something colourful. Clash. Is there something wrong with going hunting anyway? Like, does he have to say, I
it's
won't kill
against
anything?
humanity's code of ethics.
We've had this discussion before. What
Have
do you
we?
mean humanity's code of conduct? What
Code of ethics, Tom.
Sorry, code of ethics. Fucking, isn't he allowed to go out and hunt?
No,
What the fuck not?
because hunting has been abolished on Earth for 100 years. Archer said.
Is he? He's his own man.
Well,
He's not on Earth. He's
personally, shoot the fuck out of whatever the fuck you
well,
want.
that's what I'm like too. I'm like, you're on an alien planet.
Unless you're shooting an endangered species
yeah,
on Earth that I give a shit about.
yeah. Well, that's right, because they're endangered. You got to look after the environment, yada yada yada. But I mean, go and shoot an elk or whatever. Fucking
Yeah,
go
well,
for it.
yes.
Yeah. So, like, if he's on an alien planet, he's mixing with the cultural norms of another alien race.
Go for it.
Let him go on a hunt. Like,
I concur.
yeah.
Back to Archer by the fire. He just has to stay up. And then it cuts to a little bit later, and Archer has fallen asleep outside next to the fire. And he hears whispers from the jungle. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan.
You've done it better than the actress.
I deserve an Emmy. He wakes up and asks, is someone there? He grabs his torch and he goes into the jungle following this bodiless voice.
Yeah, so fucking dumb.
Who's there? Who is it? What do you want?
Love it.
He finds a woman who looks at him and runs away.
Yeah, it's like, I've called you over. Now I'm fucking off.
We cut back from commercial and there's a few people out looking for this random chick in the jungle. Trip believes that Archer did see a woman, because if Archer said he saw someone, then he did.
That's right.
But no one else does, and everyone's making fun of him. And he says that she was a young, scantily clad woman in a nightgown in the middle of the jungle who knew who he was and looked familiar.
Yeah.
And the alien's like, well, what are the chances
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
someone...
From your planet being here now.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. T'Pol says, perhaps you were dreaming. No, I was not dreaming. And I think I knew her. So anyway, the hunter guy thinks he's crazy. He tells him he's crazy, basically.
Yeah.
Says you imagined it, go to sleep.
Yeah, and all the guys laugh at him going, hopefully she visits you in your dreams.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Fuck, I would have laughed at him too.
We cut to a bit later. They're getting ready to go out on the hunt. T'Pol, Archer, and Trip are looking at a map, and they decide to visit a volcanic vent. And the hunters tease Archer again. If you see any half-naked women, let us know. Fuck. The hunters are out, and they find one of the wild boar things, also known as bad CG in the red filter of their scanning eye goggle things.
Yeah.
Archer, T'Pol, and Trip get to the vent, and they're looking around at these big rock formations with steam coming up. T'Pol goes off to check something out on the scanners, but basically it's just to leave Trip and Archer alone so that Trip can go, really, a girl?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you are cray. You are cray, Cap.
Didn't want to say it in front of the others because I have your back in front of the boys.
Yeah.
Got your back in front of the boys, Cap.
Toxic masculinity, the episode.
Yeah. Couldn't let you down. But, now that we're alone, you're a fucking nut, Captain.
Yeah. And he says, no, she was real. I was being drawn to her. She was real, Trip. I mean, this is an audio medium, so no one just saw my eyes roll real heavy. But
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he should not be captain. This guy should not be captain.
No. We cut to the hunters. They're chasing one of the boars, and then they see like a wraith. They call it a wraith later, but at this point it's just some giant sluggy looking thing.
Giant slug.
Yep. The hunters split up. Reed goes off with one of the hunters after the boar, and the other two go after the sluggo.
Sluggo.
It's Sluggo!
Hey, he's back.
This is what happens. He mutates, he breeds, and he throws the planet out of alignment.
Yeah, exactly. And he ends up getting chased down by a heap of men.
That's why he's familiar.
Yeah.
So that's why he knows who Archer is.
Exactly. He lived on the ship for a while.
Good old Sluggo.
Yeah, that's it. Now I'm rooting for Sluggo.
Go Sluggo!
Yeah.
We cut to Archer and Trip. Trip is, again, taking photos of shit, because that's his new hobby, apparently.
Yeah.
And Archer sees the woman again, and he looks back at Trip, doesn't get his attention, just goes into the jungle to follow the woman alone again.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
So Archer goes off into the jungle to see the random chick. He finally catches up with her, and he says, who are you? And she just says, I need you, Jonathan. I need you badly.
That was such a...
I don't think she said that. She says he's different.
Yeah.
She notices something and then gets scared And then you see a shot of the hunters shooting. And Jonathan says, "What is it? What's wrong?" And she says, "Harm."
Yeah.
"No, I'm not here to harm you." And then she basically fucks off.
Yeah, you're not like the others, all that crap. She's like being all weird and can't talk and shit.
Trip and T'Pol catch up with Archer, and the girl is obviously gone.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say that he's seen her. He just says, "I was just taking some scans."
And I know I'll probably say it later on. I should say it later on. I don't know, but it's come up now. But if she thinks he's different, how come the others aren't different? Like, they're telepathic, which means she can read all of them.
Yeah.
So she would know that T'Pol, especially, is very logical and not going to harm her at all and has no issues and all of that. Mm-hmm. So T'Pol would be more logical than Archer, who's emotional and, all of that kind of crap. So Correct. You would think that when T'Pol and Trip come, that she would stay because they would help her too. So why would she not want more help?
Well, maybe not T'Pol, because her logic might say, not our business.
I suppose. But T'Pol's also telepathic as well, which means she could actually have
easy to communicate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So many things. So many things.
We see the hunters running through the jungle, and one of the Wraith attacks one of them.
Yep. Gets him right in the chest.
Yep.
Sucks his blood out.
We cut back from commercial, and they have brought the injured hunter back to camp. They decide ultimately to take the injured hunter back to Enterprise. And the hunter says, "You should all go as well. This isn't a place for you." And Archer says, "I'm not going anywhere. I've got a chick to find."
That's right. There's a hot blonde in the forest. I'm going for it, man. I'm going for it.
If I want to be a good Starfleet captain, I'm going to find that woman and I'm going to make love to her. That is the Starfleet way.
Yeah, that's it.
That is my right as a captain.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That is my right as a captain to bend every alien I see.
We cut to Archer in his tent, and T'Pol comes in to say that the shuttle has docked with Enterprise and they're taking care of whatever. And Archer says, "I'm not crazy, but I saw her again. But I'm not crazy, and I want to stay because I'm not crazy."
Yeah. Totally not.
And she says, basically, "You are crazy and you should go."
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling that's...
But if you're going to go into the jungle, I'm coming with you because you shouldn't go alone. And he says, "She's only chosen to talk to me, and I don't think she'll come back if I'm not alone." And then T'Pol's got the great line of saying, "With respect, I wonder if you would be so determined to find this apparition if it was a scantily clad man." Burn!
Yeah, and completely accurate, I would say.
Completely accurate. Completely accurate.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have shown fucking half the interest if it was a dude.
Nah, wouldn't have given a fuck.
There was some random guy in his boxers walking around the jungle, and I've got to find him.
Yeah, fuck off.
That wouldn't happen.
No, it wouldn't. The captain would be like, "Quick, get my phaser. There's a half-naked guy running around."
Yeah, exactly. Totally called out, and I love that she called it out.
Yeah, me too. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that it's still this episode.
Yeah, no, that's right.
But clearly the writers had enough of a mind to put this line in to at least try to counter some of the shit that they've put in this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we cut to sickbay. The injured hunter is unconscious. Dr. Phlox says that there's cellular residue in the wound from the attacker, and that the DNA or the cellular residue is in a state of flux, so it doesn't really know what it wants to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, same girl, same. We cut to Archer. He's back at the volcanic vents by himself, and the woman appears and grabs him. And he says, "Oh my God, you're real. I can touch you." He's like, "Yes, I can finally bang this chick."
I'm not hallucinating. Woo!
She basically says that she's a changeling.
Yeah, right.
But a telepathic changeling.
Yeah, that's new.
And then she explains that these hunters are hunting them, her and her people. And Yeah, no, I don't think much else happens in that scene, right?
No, they didn't bang, so
They didn't bang.
No.
We come back from commercial. We're at the campsite, and they're having a few drinks.
Yeah, that was the interesting part, wasn't it? They sort of cut because he finds out they're being hunted and all that, and then the scene just completely
It
cuts.
just cuts.
To them talking with the hunters about the same thing we just heard.
Yeah,
About how they're changelings and all that kind
the
of
prey
stuff.
here is different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they go through the exact same thing we just heard from her, and I'm like, we just heard all this like literally 2
Pretty
seconds
much.
ago. What the fuck am I hearing it again for? And why didn't they just have this scene instead of the scene with her, or not even bother with this scene that I'm watching now? Because you're just retelling me the same shit that I literally heard 2 seconds ago. Like,
Yes.
it was fucking pointless.
Correct.
Like, it's like rereading the same page over and over again in a book.
Yeah,
It's dumb
except
for the end bit of
for the bit where the hunter
Yeah.
is telling the story about his father and his friends that got ambushed by these wraiths,
Yeah, the end bit.
which basically just proves that these wraiths are sentient and shouldn't be hunted in the first place.
Yeah, because it was dumb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was all about, they got cornered, a heap of them in a cave, but they were smart enough to beat us, basically. They were smart
Yeah.
enough to kill us instead of us killing them.
And then there's a cut to an external shot of the Enterprise orbiting, which I must say, the Enterprise looks great with no light. I'm just saying, it looked really good next to a dark planet. I thought it
Limited
looked good.
light.
Looked pretty. But apparently the whole away team is now on the ship. We
Yeah.
went from a campsite to 5 seconds later they're on the ship with no discussion in between. But, I mean, sure. And Archer's talking about wanting to stop the hunters, and T'Pol says, you have no right to stop these hunters. This is not your issue. You have no jurisdiction here.
Yeah.
And he says, well, maybe we can hide the chemical that makes the hunters be able to track them. Like, maybe we can just stop that so that they don't have an advantage and they can't find them anymore.
Level the playing field.
Well,
Was his words, I'm pretty
I
sure.
guess.
If you call it that.
It's just, why interfere at all?
It's not his place.
It's not his place.
No.
I mean,
It's
they
two
are
species.
sentient species, and yes, they
Yeah.
are getting hunted, so I probably would get involved.
I mean,
but
yeah, I probably would do something too, but in the end of the day, would you stop 2 warring factions on a planet?
No,
No. So
You
it's
wouldn't get
similar
involved.
that's right. It's similar to that.
I guess.
It's that early thing that you fought me about in a previous episode. I mean, if they wipe out that species, well, that was what was meant to happen.
No, I don't know. I probably...
Okay.
I don't know, because these aliens are sentient. So, is it okay for these aliens to be hunting a sentient species? No.
Well, I would say no.
Do you go to war for it?
No, but is it our place to interfere with that progression?
But it's not progress. We're not talking about a progression here. We're not talking about evolution and getting involved in the evolutionary development. We're talking about one species wiping out another from another planet.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think Archer's doing the right thing here.
Yeah.
And I think doing it by giving them the cloaking device or whatever the fuck they use.
Changing the molecular output of the scent or whatever.
Whatever the fuck. Whatever technobabble reason they come up with to how they do it.
So they can't be detected. Yeah.
So they can't be detected. I think that's probably the smartest way to go about it, because telling the hunters, back off, these people are sentient, is just going to start a conflict.
Yeah.
So if you just change it, they don't know any different,
Yeah.
and say, bye, have fun hunting,
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
then, good.
Yeah.
So we kind of just skipped over a bit of stuff, but I think everyone gets the point, and I don't really want to go back and rehash it because this episode was boring.
Yeah.
And I think we've already talked about the most important part, which was the decision to make to help the sentient slugs.
Yeah. They did have to rub it in their faces slightly, though.
They did a
because it
little
is a masculine episode, so they
Yeah.
had to go down and visit the hunters after the hunters had a bit of a conflict.
How
it's
was
like-
the hunt?
Yeah. They seem to have evaded our scanners, which has never happened before.
Yeah.
And then
I guess we must be bad luck.
Yeah. Had to have that.
And then the wrap-up scene with Archer in the volcanic vent,
Yeah.
and says, I hope it'll keep you safe. and that he figured out who she was from his memory.
Yeah.
Some poetry. We skipped over that scene.
Yeah.
And she says, never stop seeking what seems unobtainable. It's like, oh, that's a nice... I quite like that line. That'll end up on one of our quotes on our Instagram.
Yeah.
But
nice.
And then she says, never forget me, Jack. Oh, I mean, never forget me. I just think about Titanic for some reason. And and then she turns into a slug and slides off. That's it. Now that we've talked through it, what's the life lesson?
Life lesson, hey? Wow. Mind your own fucking business. No. That's another smart ass comment I always make.
That's true.
I don't know. Can we just use the ladies' thing? The words? Just use her last words. It's probably the best thing out of the episode.
Never stop seeking what seems unattainable.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it sounds pretty. I don't know whether I actually like it, but it sounds pretty.
It does sound pretty. Never stop dreaming is basically what it says.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, keep hope. But I think this episode is probably more about helping those in need, not ignoring the call for help.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it seems challenging or you're a bit unsure, like investigate.
Yeah.
If someone or something needs help,
yeah,
follow through.
Yeah, fair enough.
How about that?
Do your best and
Do your best.
Help.
Yeah.
Help others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Help
like
others.
Yeah, okay. All right, I like it.
Cool. We'll stick with that.
Awesome.
All right. What about IMDb rating? For those playing at home, our examples of 1 episodes of Voyager's Threshold, Next Gen's Code of Honor. Our examples of 10 episodes are Next Gen's Tapestry and DS9's Far Beyond the Stars. With those excellent episodes in mind, what are we going to rate Rogue Planet?
What was the one we rated recently, a 2 or something?
Sleeping Dogs. That was that Klingon one.
Yeah, that was pretty shit.
And the other 2s were Fortunate Son, which was that cargo vessel one, and Terra Nova, the shale.
Shale.
For me, I think this one is on par with those.
Yeah, I'm thinking the
think
same.
This is a 2.
This is going to be a 2. Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah, this is pretty shocking.
This is completely forgettable.
Yeah.
And just skip over it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Don't
just
even
really
bother.
don't like it.
Don't even bother.
All right. I guess we'll stick with the 2 then.
Yep, 2 it is.
Okay, 2 it is. Excellent. All right. That's it for this week. You can find us on Facebook at Temporal Directive Podcast and Instagram, just Temporal Directive. Or you can get in touch via email at wakefield_productions@outlook.com. And please reach out. Let us know what you thought of this episode or anything Trek related. And we'll be back next week with our episode Acquisition. Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.